Thought it was love when they gave you a white Jesus. That's called hatred. They read the Bible that Jesus had afro hair, skin like it burned in the furnace, and said, never teach that to them. Give them a white Jesus with straight hair. Let him look like us. Teach them in church. Tax them every Sunday, 10%. Allow the nations like the Chinese, the white man, to take their minerals from their land and get rich as they get poorer and poorer and poorer. You thought that was love? That's called hatred. That's called hatred.
That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant.
His holy covenant. His holy covenant. His holy covenant. His holy covenant. Was it made for everybody on the planet? Hebrews 8:8. Was his holy covenant made for everybody? Let's see what the Bible says.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith.
For finding fault with the Israelites, our people, he said.
Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
I'll make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
And with the house of Judah.
And with the house of Judah. Read.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
Not according to the old covenant of animal sacrifice.
In the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
So read who the covenant is for again.
When I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
So how come in all your churches they teach the covenant is for everybody? That's not in the Bible. That's what the Roman Catholic Church taught you. And the word Catholic means universal. The Catholic Church endeavor is to make a one world religion. The Catholic Church instituted the transatlantic slave trade in 1441. The Roman Catholic Church, they're doing a world, what is it called? Tour. Next month, they're hitting all the islands to make sure we fall under Roman Catholicism. Regardless if you call yourself Pentecostal, you still fall under them. Regardless if you call yourself Pentecostal or Holiness Church, you still fall under them. Because if you say God's holy day is Sunday, you fall under the Roman Catholic Church. If you say Christmas is Jesus' birthday, that's the Roman Catholic Church. Jesus white, Roman Catholic Church. Easter, Roman Catholic Church. You're following the devil. That's who you're following. Regardless of what religious group you call yourself, you're following Satan. Do we have any questions before we close out? No questions?
We got a question.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, Bishop.
Yes.
My question is about Sabbath worship or Sabbath rest. We in Bougainville, this issue has been a debate for a long time. It's still going on. We observe the Saturday is a Sabbath rest, and we worship on Sunday, the first day of the week. Are we also wrong?
Let's read what the Bible says. You said you worship the Sabbath the first day of the week, right?
We don't worship, we rest.
Oh, you rest the first day of the week. What did you say?
She rests on the Sabbath, but she worships on the first day of the week.
Oh, you rest on the Sabbath, but you worship on the first day.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for clearing it up. So, give me that in Leviticus 23. Listen, you can worship. We worship every day. It's fine. Rest on the Sabbath, that's good. But when we come together, Leviticus 23, read that verse again.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
The word convocation means gathering. Like this is a gathering of people, a gathering of the Israelites. It says the Sabbath day, the seventh day, is the day to gather. That's when we're commanded to come together. So now let's say you say, well, Lord, I'm not going to gather. I'm going to stay home and rest. Hebrews 10:25. Stay there and get Hebrews 10:25. Let me show you. Get Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is.
God says, do not forsake your gathering together, as the manner of some is. What is he talking about?
But exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching.
As you see the day approaching. So we are commanded to gather together on the seventh day. That's the commandment. You understand? I hope everybody understands it. Now, if you decide, I'm not going to obey that, I'm going to gather when I want to gather. So we went to a group some time ago. They gather on the second day. What I'm showing you is that all these religions you're in, you go against what the written word says. Nobody wants to follow what is written. You're going by what somebody else said. Yes. Yes. So now, let me show you. Can we work on the Sabbath, seventh-day Sabbath? Can we work? Okay, good. Exodus. Let me show you the laws of the seventh-day Sabbath. In the Bible, there's no such thing as a first day of the week Sabbath. It's not in there. That's something somebody made up because they didn't want to obey this. What are the laws of the Sabbath day? Exodus, come on, 20. And around verse 8.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So the seventh day Sabbath is a holy day. He says, remember it because there's things you must do. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thy labor and do all thy work.
So God said you can work for 6 days out of the week.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
So don't do any work on the seventh day.
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter,
You nor your children,
thy manservant, nor thy maidservant,
because you may be a business owner. You're not to have people working for you on the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
So far, in Leviticus 23, it said to gather on the Sabbath. Here in Exodus, it says not to work on the Sabbath. Get Exodus 16:23. So gather on the Sabbath and don't work on the Sabbath. Watch this. Exodus 16.
Chapter 16 and verse 23. And he said unto them, this is that which the Lord hath said, tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord.
So the Sabbath is a holy day of rest. Go ahead.
Bake that which ye will bake today,
If you're going to bake food, you bake it before the Sabbath day comes.
and seethe that ye will seethe.
Seethe means boil. If you're going to boil food, you boil it before the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
And that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning.
Whatever's left over, you can eat it the next day. But don't cook it. Exodus 35:3. It's okay to eat cold chicken. It's okay to eat vegetables on the Sabbath. God says don't boil and don't bake, don't cook on the Sabbath day.
Exodus chapter 35 and verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
So on the Sabbath day, there's to be no cooking. No fire means no cooking on the Sabbath day. What else? Nehemiah 10:31. What else can we not do? In order to remember the Sabbath day, You must remember these easy laws. But an evil man, an evil woman will not remember to do this. They'll go, I'm not going to obey that. Nehemiah chapter 10 verse 31.
Nehemiah chapter 10 and verse 31. And it says, and if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell.
If the people of the land bring ware, that means like clothing or pots or pans. Victuals means food to sell. So if the people of the land bring anything to sell to you on the Sabbath day,
that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath.
We are not to buy on the Sabbath day. It's a day of rest, a day to convocate, to come together like we're doing today. But it's supposed to be on the seventh day Sabbath.
Or on the holy day.
Or on any holy day.
And that we would leave the seventh year and the exaction of every debt.
So, on the Sabbath day, to remember to keep it holy, there's to be a holy convocation, a day of rest, no cooking, no buying or selling. You have not learned God's, and these are easy laws. It's not hard. You know what makes it hard? An evil heart. How many of you think that God's laws are too hard to keep? Get Leviticus 18 about animals. I'm going to show you another law. I heard some people say God's laws are too hard to keep. Tell me if this is too hard.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 23. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith.
Neither shall you have sex with any animal to defile yourself therewith.
Neither shall any woman stand before beast,
stand before an animal,
to lie down thereto,
to have sex with it.
It is confusion.
It is confusion. Is that too hard to keep? No, it's easy. God's laws are easy. What makes it hard is an evil mind. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Is that hard? No. What makes it hard is an evil man and evil woman. Grow your beard. Is that too hard? No. What makes it hard is an evil mind. That's what makes it hard. To keep God's other high holy days. Is that too hard to keep the new moon? No. Get that Isaiah 66:23. No, it's not hard to keep the new moon. The new moon is what you call the full moon. That's the new moon. The white man says the new moon is when it's dark and you can't see it. God's new moon is when it was full and bright. That's what Genesis 1:14. Got a question? Okay. Let's answer the question.
Thank you. No, that's fine. Yeah. Well, just in light of what you said in terms of convocation. Now, here we are gathering on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And you are part of this gathering. Mm-hmm. Are you breaking the law as well?
No. Let me explain. I said you could gather anytime. You can gather Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But you are commanded to convocate, gather on the seventh day Sabbath. Does everybody understand that? Again, I'm going to say it again. Yes, go ahead.
So God commanded us to gather on the Sabbath, which was yesterday, where there's no buying, no cooking, no selling, and no working. How many of you bought yesterday, cooked yesterday, probably sold yesterday? Probably all of you. So you were in the midst of breaking the Sabbath. That's what the bishop is bringing out. Saturday is mandatory. It's not optional. It's mandatory that we convocate. And while we're convocating, you're not working, you're not buying, you're not selling, and you're not cooking. That's what the Bible says. Remember what Peter said in the books of Acts chapter 5 verse 29. We rather obey God rather than men.
Get Acts 2:46. Thank you, Captain Joel. You can gather together every day. It's fine. Like it said, watch, I'm going to show you the Acts 2:46.
This is the book of Acts chapter 2 verse 46. And they continuing daily with one accord in the temple and breaking bread from house to house did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart.
So they got together daily.